Leo dance when the G's up. Spaced out, got me geeked up. 10 toes on the west, can I beat us? You cannot. Shining every time they meet us. Rack 'em up since 96. Been number one in LA, something like that's the gist.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talkin Galaxy. Today it's just me right now, so we're gonna kind of work through this. But I should be joined by Galaxy Runs LA and potentially Galaxy Memes as we go on. We'll see how that develops, though. I think Galaxy Runs LA is doing something with soccer right now, so something soccer related. You could let that pass, right? I mean, if you're playing footy, I mean, you kind of got to understand. Anyway, the LA Galaxy came off of a very, very interesting. Welcome everyone in the chat. Hello, Vato. Very, very interesting week for the LA Galaxy, and we do have some Leagues Cup results that are trickling in as we go. That will be potentially very impactful to the Galaxy's chances at advancing in this tournament. Yeah, free Vato. Yeah, I mean, well, we were supposed to have you on. I'm not sure what happened with that, mate. I thought this guy was a Liverpool fan. Oh, I had this jersey before. Hold up. Because I'm solo, because I'm here right now, I will tell you the backstory behind this jersey. I have this jersey because, okay, Liverpool's like my first team in Europe, okay? And this is not on some glory hunting, I promise. I know people are like City glory hunting fans. Like, promise that's not me here. Not the case. Anyway, I got this jersey because back in COVID, the Bundesliga was the first league to come back. If you guys remember correctly, I have a backstory behind this, so trust me, I'm not just a glory hunter here. They were the first league to come back. They're the first league to come back. So I was like, okay, I think I don't have a team in La Liga. I don't have a team in Portugal. I don't have it. It's just Germany and England. The Bundesliga was the first league to come back. And I was like, okay, it's time for me to pick a team. And 2021 with a Bayern jersey. I do own a Bayern jersey. I own a lot of jerseys, though. I have a Chelsea jersey and I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't believe unless it's like a major rival. Like I would never buy like a Manchester United jersey. Like that's just not happening. But in Bayer Leverkusen's case, I'm like, okay, what team is looking attractive to me? Bayer Leverkusen were a very attractive option at the time because of Kai Havertz. If you remember Kai Havertz for Bayer Leverkusen, if you're paying attention to football around that time, he was a demon. That guy was so good. He was unbelievable for Leverkusen, and so I picked them up. I picked them up ever since. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a, Leverkusen, like I watch every single Leverkusen game. I would just be lying to you. I don't watch every single Leverkusen game, but I do follow and support the club. I swear I'm not one of those people that have a team in every country. It's just Germany. He was what Douglas Costa was to the Galaxy. Kai Havertz, that's really bad rage bait, by the way. Anyway, yeah. Oh, this is just going great. I got booted off. I accidentally, you know what? Hands off the mouse. Hand is off the mouse right now. I got booted off, and oh, of course, yeah. I did not end the stream. Yeah, the rage bait got me, man. I did not end the. Yeah, the Havertz scored. It's bad rage bait. It's bad rage bait. Anyway, I'm gonna go slide by slide here because they erased everything that I had presented for you guys. But while we're on the Bundesliga topic, let's talk about Mathis Albert. Man, I think Mathis Albert might end up being better than Kevin Sullivan when it's all done. And I'll tell you why. So basically the news here is that Mathis Albert has signed a first team contract with Borussia Dortmund. He featured at the Club World Cup for them. I don't know if he actually got any minutes, but I know that he was on the Club World Cup roster for Dortmund. Kid 16, he's a baller. He came from the Galaxy Academy. He was one of the brightest stars. I mean, he is basically Kevin Sullivan without the hype. He's basically Kevin Sullivan without the hype, and that's Mathis Albert. The guy's an absolute baller. Congratulations to him for signing a first-team contract. But, man, I wish we didn't even get a transfer fee out of that. we don't have a sell-on clause from that. From my understanding, it's because his father got a German passport. So instead of getting a transfer fee for it, they just simply moved to Germany, and the Galaxy didn't get anything from it, which is very unfortunate for our sake. But he's a baller. He's a baller. He'll do big things in Europe. Here's my thing. I think that's the right move for him because Dortmund's academy is notoriously one of the best. Dortmund's academy is it's insane. If you're a player and you want to go develop abroad, you go to Borussia Dortmund. If I was a young player in this situation, I would do that. The issue I have for Kevin Sullivan is I think going to Man City is too big of a move. I don't think you could be the best U15 player in the world. You're not going to break into that Man City team. You're going to end up going on loan. You're going to end up going on loan spells. Dortmund will absolutely play the youngsters. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to give youngsters significant minutes and chances to break through into the main team. One of the top clubs in the Bundesliga, but I think Mathis Albert has a huge future because Dortmund was the right move for him. I just wish we could have got something out of it. And, we got more for Aaron Bibu than we did Mathis Albert. So if you want to put that into perspective, it is what it is, but it wasn't totally in our control. It's not like it was a front office issue. It's just, I'm sure the Galaxy would have loved to get a sell-on clause from him. But it's more of, I'm not placing the blame on his dad, but his dad is the reason why he is at Dortmund on a free transfer. They just moved. He had a German passport. They just did that. It went seamlessly onwards. So Mathis Albert, congratulations. I'm sure he will be doing huge things in Europe. And pay attention. If you don't have a team in the Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund's always a really fun one to watch. I think if I wasn't a Liverpool fan in terms of major teams, I'd probably be a Dortmund fan. Just because, their fans are great. They have a great fan base. They're really entertaining, but yeah, they also do come short a lot. Unfortunately, I know Marco Reus was so close to winning his first league title with them, but he didn't end up doing that. They ended up bottling it on the final match day, which unfortunate, man. But it is what it is. I'm a Leverkusen fan, so I don't. Liverpool's not a major team. What's this rage bait tonight? Like this is like Galaxy memes level rage bait. That man was telling me that Liverpool kit. I hope he comes on tonight because I got some choice words for him, actually. He was trying to tell me that Liverpool kit was a terrible kit, and I was like, that's a crazy take. I went to the Adidas outlet store today. I went to one of the Adidas outlet stores, and they had a replica Liverpool kit, and they were just bagging on it. And I was like, well, first of all, it's a replica. I'm getting the long sleeve Liverpool kit, hopefully tomorrow. It's supposed to come in with Diogo Jota on the back. It looks clean. It's not it's a great kit. It's the best home kit we've had. Anyway, this is the Galaxy podcast. Sorry. I'm on solo terms right now, so you're gonna have to bear with me as we go. But long sleeve Liverpool home kit is absolutely class. And yeah. No, I ain't fault. I know what Gale does. My whole point was that man is terrible at rage baiting. But Tabers also holds the same view, I think unironically, but I saw Barca kit too there, and I don't think we have much room to talk on that front. Anyway, Leagues Cup, the tournament the Galaxy are in right now. And really the only thing we have left in this season, besides Campeones Cup, that final match in October 1st, is the Leagues Cup. And we won 5-2 in our first match. Let me go through the goal scoring summary here. I was at this game. I do still attend games in Angel City Brigade. I just I'm not there chanting. Oh my gosh, there was a Marco Reus reaction video. I got caught in 4K on the Marco Reus miss. Not in this match. In the Cruz Azul game, that I was absolutely livid. Nascimento scored in the 17th minute to make it 1-0, and then this kid's so good. Mora for Club Tijuana. He's different. That he is so European bound. He's absolutely European bound. He scored a goal in the 21st minute, and it's like, okay, please don't bottle this game. This is supposed to be the quote unquote easiest game. Well, Santos Laguna are bottom of the league, but like this is an easy one. If you don't win this one, it's kind of wraps. It's 1-1, 39th minute. 27th minute, we get a penalty. Joseph Painsil steps up to the spot and he misses it. He bloody misses it. And I was fuming. Because I was like, look, I think it was the right decision. But at the same time, in my perspective, Nascimento scored the penalty to open the score in this match. Why not give him back-to-back penalties? If Nascimento, by the way, he took a penalty in the shootout in the Cruz Azul game that we will go over very shortly here. He's really good with penalties. He looks completely composed. In fact, he probably looks more composed than some of our most senior players do. I think the only man who could strike a penalty better than Nascimento is Marco Reus. There you go, spoilers. Marco Reus. But and by the way, during both of these penalty situations, Marco Reus he's not even in the conversation to take it. That's really surprising to me. The guy is completely composed when it comes to penalty kicks, but Painsil scored some. He takes the penalty, and it's not a great one. It's not a great one, honestly. The power wasn't there. It was within a savable range for the goalkeeper. It didn't necessarily put it in any corner that would have, made it unsavable regardless. It's the Galaxy in penalties. I don't think anybody should be particularly surprised in this case. Regardless. 39th minute, Gabriel Peck makes it 2-1. And now the Galaxy are back up at top. You're like, okay, now the penalty doesn't matter. We just got to go out here and hold on to this lead. As again. This Mora guy's really good. But the second goal irritated me a bit more than the first goal did. As he says in the chat, they just gave him space. It's a defensive breakdown, honestly. It's a complete defensive breakdown. I'm not trying to discredit the strike. It's a great strike. It's a wonder strike. Kid's great, but you can't give him that kind of space. You can't give him that time to just absolutely rip one from the top of the box. A player of his caliber is going to at least make it, test Novak Mitrovic, and there's not much Novak can do on that shot. I think there's a couple bodies in front of him, maybe obstructing his view, but regardless, it's in the right place, and it's 2-2 now. Now you're a bit worried. Because it's the 60th minute, and it's 2-2 in this match, and you're starting to think about penalty kicks potentially if this drags on as a tie any longer. I questioned it when it happened. So the Galaxy end up going up 3-2 through a Joseph Painsil goal. He had 2 goals in this match, but quite honestly, Painsil could add 4. The missed penalty, and there was another chance where he was in behind the back line, and he sailed the shot. He didn't even get it on target, which was really disappointing. I mean, for somebody who had a brace, it almost feels like the weakest kind of brace he could have. I mean, not to discredit Joseph Painsil because he still scored the other 2, but it's like, man, he could have 4. And you talk about how crucial goal differential is in this tournament. Those are things that can come back to bite you if you're the LA Galaxy, is the fact that you're not making these shots, but they end up picking it up. So Joseph Painsil scores in the 65th minute. They made 3 subs. And these 3 subs, I'm going to be honest, I didn't agree with it in the moment. Because I thought that these players have been out of form in particular. I mean, he brought on, let me go through it here. Miki Amane, John Nelson, and Lucas Sanabria in the same substitution window. I really did not like that at the time, because in my opinion, the only player who I think can do serviceably in that is John Nelson. And I don't even rate John Nelson particularly as an amazing player. I just think he's serviceable. I think he's a good MLS left back. And in a game where you're winning 3-2, I was like, wow, we're really throwing everything against the wall right now and taking a risk. Vanny got it right. Vanny got this game right. It really transformed what we did going forward in a match where, if in Leagues Cup, obviously this doesn't end in a draw, it goes to penalty kicks, but penalty kicks, a win in penalties only counts for 2 points. Hence why Cruz Azul, despite beating us in penalties, are likely out. They're likely out regardless, because they lost their first match. And if you get 2, it looks like the barrier is going to be about 7 to get in. In fact, we know it will be 7. So the Galaxy went after it. And they went after it by exposing the transition game because they knew that Tijuana was going to have to take more chances. Club Tijuana played a lot more aggressive going forward because they wanted to get the equalizer. But we got the 4th goal, which was the most important goal of the match, was to make sure that we can see it through, was Marco Reus. Marco Reus scored. Marco Reus scored in the 82nd minute of the game. And, man, this was an absolute relief. Yeah, Cruz Azul, crazy Cruz Azul is done, honestly. I think I had them advancing pretty deep in this tournament, at least. CONCACAF champions, they end up losing 7-0 to Seattle. It didn't help us. It didn't help us. Greg Vanny went over it before the match. He was kind of talking about the fact that, hey, they lost 7-0, but it's not, you're going to get the best version of that team after they lose 7-0. Cruz Azul are not a team that, is worth losing 7-0. That was like, it's a once in a blue moon. It's a fluke result. It's craziness. It's craziness. They definitely deserve to lose that match, but 7-0, no. They came out aggressive against the Galaxy. Obviously not the match we're on now. But it's 4-2 now, and the game really starts to open up because Tijuana is still chasing it. If they lose this match, they're also basically done. You can't take a loss in regulation in this tournament. If you take a loss in regulation, and in the chat's talking about the fact that they got a penalty, what a big surprise, right? It doesn't matter. They're out. They're out. It doesn't matter what LAFC do. They are out of the tournament because they lost. No, actually, they didn't lose in regulation, but they played penalties twice. You can't afford to play penalties twice. The first tiebreaker in this tournament is the amount of wins that you have in regular time. That's very important. And that is why we are going to have to get a big 3 points. How crazy was that Cruz Azul fan base? That's another important aspect of this match. Heard they're crazy faithful. They showed out in numbers. And they came out, and yeah, I went to a Cruz Azul match in 2019 with my dad, and it was very similar. It was very similar in terms, but I don't know if it was me, maybe yeah, by the way, Tijuana, I mean, they had fans there, but it was nothing like Cruz Azul. I mean, they had their little section, maybe like 50 people. I mean, it was still respectable, but nothing like Cruz Azul in this case. I'm not trying to glaze Cruz Azul. I'm not a fan. I don't really pay attention to Liga MX in general. But Cruz Azul fan base showed out, and it was like that in 2019. So, it's not all that surprising that a Liga MX team comes into Dignity Health Sports Park and shows out against us, fan base wise, especially when most of at least half of our supporters groups are in the midst of a protest. Another interesting aspect to this is the fact that for the first time, LA Riot Squad and Galaxians were back. It looks like they've at least come to a resolution with the front office to get them back in, get the supporters back in. And yeah, Galaxians, LA Riot Squad. Unfortunately, I don't think it made much of a difference. No disrespect to either one of those supporters groups, but I think, I don't hold on. I'll answer your question in a second in chat, but I don't necessarily think it matters because our atmosphere works best cohesively when we have all 4 supporters groups, and it's not happening right now. So, but I will answer your question. Chat, should I get an 07 Galaxy home kit with Beckham on the back or a Peck Puig newer jersey? It depends if the 07-08 kit is authentic. Those kits are very hard to find at a reasonable price when it comes to authenticity. So I would not expect that to be an authentic kit. But if it is, absolutely 07-08. It depends what newer jersey too. It depends. If you're talking about the Rising kit, I like the Rising kit. I think it's nice. Or if you're talking about the home kit, I like the Ghost Sash. So I would personally go with the Beckham, but it depends. It depends if it's authentic or not. So yeah, we got a quote right now from Novak Mitrovic on this match against Club Tijuana. If we play like this every game, we can beat anyone. And yeah, what What a statement, man. I mean, what an absolute. I mean, thanks, Captain Obvious. Like, I love Novak Mitrovic, but I think he's done fine as the goalkeeper. Ever since he took back over the spot, I had some doubts initially when he started the season, but I think he's been great. But he's right, and we'll break down why he's right. Is the fact that the Galaxy really got it going offensively. We didn't score 5 goals in any game this year, and we were firing on all cylinders. And in fact, we should have had 7. The missed penalty and the Paintsville chance, and I'm sure there's others that you could point to. We could add 7, and I'm not trying to play that game, but I'm just saying that cohesively, I feel like this was our best defensive game. No, not the best offensive game, and defense held it down too. But I would like to welcome to the studio. Maybe he could comment on this a little more. Galaxy runs LA. Here we go. How you doing, man?
There you go. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We
All
could
right.
tell you in the car.
I'm currently driving on the way home from pickup, so I just want to
That's
chime
passion.
in and then in 20 minutes I'll be in person. You'll see my beautiful face and all. So you should have to wait. But for the people that are listening back or just like listening through the podcast, it's just my normal voice. But just imagine a black screen. But don't worry. I know. Samuel in there is wanting to see my face, so you'll get that soon.
Yeah, I mean, we got memes here too now. I mean, you show up, and apparently memes is a deal, a joint package with you.
Yeah, buy one, get one free.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
He's the free one.
Yeah, I might have to kick him out of the studio real quick. Anyway, thoughts on the Club Tijuana match?
Yeah, obviously that was probably our best game that we've played in a long time. Like I remember I posted on my stories saying, and what was I watching, the 2024 Galaxy or the 2025? Because our offense was flowing. It was almost like one of the playoff games or Colorado or Minnesota.
You're cutting out of
It was
it.
close for large portions from that. Oh, that's on me. That's my bad. That's probably my Wi-Fi. But can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'll just keep talking. If I miss any points, you can just go over them. But I was saying, like, it was almost like a playoff game where it was closely contested for portions of it, but we got our chances, we took them, and we scored. I mean, you talked about we could have scored a lot more, and that was the case. But we scored 5, and they scored 2, so that's just the perfect scoreline. And then obviously, Gilberto Moro was just OP, and that kid's gonna be great. And I have a funny story about him. So I posted on my story. I'm not sure if you went over this, that he swapped shirts with Royce. But apparently, a rumor came out. Not a rumor, but more went on the press. I think it was yesterday before the Tijuana game. He said that his team is actually pranking him, and Royce didn't want his jersey. So that actually didn't end up happening.
Yeah. I mean, okay. First of all, we will add Galaxy memes right now. Welcome, Mr. Galaxy Meme. What a picture you have. Welcome, Galaxy Memes.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man? yeah, we could hear you, bro. This game reminded me a lot of the Minnesota playoff game, and that game was it got off to a very early start like this one did, and then the Galaxy just started to pull away. I mean, Colorado also played out similarly, at least at home. So I would tend to say that this game reminded me a lot of the Minnesota playoff game. But yeah, Novak Mitrovic is absolutely right. This is the type, I was thinking about this a lot during this match. I was kind of thinking about the fact that I think the Galaxy really benefit, at least mentally, from the fact that this is a clean slate for them. That might be the single most important thing about this whole entire tournament is everything that's happened in the MLS season, all of the regrets that they hold about how this campaign's gone, wiped away. If you can win this tournament, I have a question for you guys. Would it be a successful season if we win Leagues Cups, in your opinion, and get a CONCACAF spot from it?
Definitely.
Okay. Memes?
I also agree, yeah.
There you have it. I also agree. If you are a competitive club that competes at the top every season, you want to be in CONCACAF Champions League. In fact, I mean, I wouldn't consider it a successful season, but I think it would be a successful Leagues Cup tournament if we ended with a CONCACAF spot, whether that be a third place game or finals finish. the top 3 teams get it. They play a third place match, and then the finalists and winner are guaranteed a spot in it. I want to play CONCACAF next year. This team wants to play CONCACAF next year. You need those games. It's extra money. You get to start the season a little sooner. There's going to be a huge break because we're going to miss playoffs. There's going to be a massive break from October to February. And some players, I think Joseph Paintsil's itching for the break. I think Joseph Paintsil will actually benefit most from all of this, is the fact that he finally gets a rest. I really am disappointed at the fact that we didn't get like our time at the top. We won MLS Cup. We reached that summit. We were at the top, and we are still the defending champions no matter what anybody says. But we didn't really get our time at the top like Seattle have in recent years. And that's probably the most disappointing part is you look at this year and you're like, dang, like this could have really been like our season to kind of go back to back, and or at least compete again. So I don't know. Do you guys? I mean, I don't know. Do you guys also? I mean, that might be the most obvious question ever, but I'm sure you guys also feel the same way about wishing that we had more time at the top to enjoy it because the off season felt so short.
Yeah, I mean, right after we won MLS Cup, it was like a month and a half, and they were in Coachella. And then, I mean, we're missing Ricky, so like there's just that sour taste in our mouth. They didn't even feel like we're champions almost. So that kind of took away from the fact that we were champions, and it kind of took away our joy a little bit. But
Yeah.
obviously, Ricky's coming back soon, and hopefully we can have that kind of time at the top where we have all our full team, and hopefully Ricky's firing all cylinders and all. And then going back to your point on the CONCACAF spot, I think if we get deep into Leagues Cup, I think we almost guarantee a spot because I remember last season at least. I'm not sure if it's the same format. There's if other teams got playoff or if other teams got CONCACAF spots through winning MLS Cup or finishing first in the Western Conference or something, doesn't those spots get passed down to whoever's higher in Leagues Cup or something like that? So I feel like
believe
we have a
so.
higher chance of getting CONCACAF through Leagues Cup. So I think we should throw all our eggs in that basket and hope that we can go through. Because right now, obviously Columbus tied 1-1, so that's a good result for us. And
Oh, did they
we get to
really?
see I'm pretty sure I might be mistaken. I haven't been on my phone much today, but we have
Yeah.
the fate in our. We have the decision in our hands because we play last. I don't know if you went over this, but we play at 8:15 on Thursday. We're the last game of all of round one in Leagues Cup, so we will know what we need to do, whether we're knocked out or whatnot. So it's in our hands, and we just have to decide what we do with it. And hopefully, we turn into 2024 Galaxy like we did against Cholos, and we play good and not like 2025 Galaxy against Cruz Azul at times.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the Columbus thing before Memes taps into this. Columbus won, and we'll go over what that implies.
Dang.
They won 1-0.
It's
I'll
really
just say it
tired
now.
out.
If the Galaxy win, it won't be an issue because we'll have a higher goal differential. So all we have to do is win. That's a team out of the equation. As long as we win in regulation time, Columbus is out of the picture for us. So that's actually a good result. Because if they would have won like 3-0 against Lyon, then that would have been a real issue. That would have been a real issue because we would guaranteed have to get at least a 2-0 result to go through. So this is good for us, I would say. But Memes?
Yeah, no, I agree with Tabs of, the postseason feeling super short. For me, it felt like it was like 2 weeks and we were already back to work. But in
Yeah.
reality, it was more like 6-7 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like, even though, we were the champions, I kind of felt like there was something negative with Boyg's absence. I feel like a lot of us were preparing for, the biggest, like what ifs, like what if this team doesn't perform since we have our best player and stuff like that. And, it ultimately did happen. We weren't able to perform without our best player. So, I mean, hopefully next season we have a full healthy squad to start the season. Here, all the DPs are back. And it's much better. It's the 2024 Galaxy again.
And then I just wanted to also get your thoughts because we got Tab's thoughts on the match against Club Tijuana.
Oh, my thoughts.
Yeah, just what you saw from that match.
I think offensively we were really good. Um, I think it should have been more than 5 goals. I think if Payne still would have finished his chances, it should have ran up the score a little bit. And defensively, we were pretty okay. The only thing I would have to say is on the second goal of Mora, they let him shoot outside the box, thinking he doesn't have the capacity to shoot from that far out, even though he did it the first time. So I mean, that's pretty much the only negative thing I have to say about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Maya Yoshida was out for this game. Zonka didn't play that bad. Zonka did not play that bad. He hasn't been terrible in a center back pairing for Miro Garces. We'll go over the Cruz Azul game. Let's just segue into it. No, we'll take questions from the chat first, relating to anything that you guys have any questions about, whether it be the Club Tijuana game, the Cruz Azul game, upcoming matches, anything it may be. Send your questions in, and we will get those answered. But yeah, I mean, the Tijuana match, I saw a tweet about it because Seattle won 7-0. That might have sent a signal to the Galaxy that, hey, like, we got to also run up the goal differential because some of these MLS teams are not playing. We have to run it up, and we understood that. We understood that going into it, and we handled business very well against Club Tijuana. And it's a great performance. I haven't felt that way since 2024. I mean, we literally started the season with a major blow to San Diego. Didn't really get to celebrate until 17 games in, our first win, at least in MLS play. So we got a question in the chat. Percent chance of winning the League's Cup in your guys' opinion. We'll start with you, Tap.
I say winning it is pretty low, but I think we can get far into it and then earn that CONCACAF Champions Cup spot, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. Like, if we can get a berth into Champions Cup, I'm fine with winning Leagues Cup. But obviously, you'd want to win Leagues Cup, get some silverware in your trophy cabinet and all. But to give a percentage, I feel like maybe 6-7%, maybe.
Okay, bro.
No, I'm being for real, but around that.
Mims?
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. I feel like if we advance from here, I feel like it's just up to the team. I feel like they're gonna have a higher momentum. They're gonna have, they're gonna be in good spirits. So it's kind of in our favor. I mean, all the games are gonna be at the digs if we play the Liga MX teams.
Yeah.
So we got advantage over that. So I think we have a good chance if we advance this from right now.
That's another very important thing to consider, is the fact that the Galaxy will have home field advantage throughout the entirety of this tournament. I know our home hasn't felt like a fortress this season. I mean, after going unbeaten last year, it felt like we can never lose there. And this season, at times, it's felt like we can never win there, or win in general. But it's very important because I think this team is obviously very motivated when they don't even have to leave their bed. They don't have to leave the comfort of their home. It looks like the next away game for this team will be August 16th against Inter Miami. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so percentage chance that we win Leagues Cup, I really don't. I really don't know. I'm gonna say 10%.
What?
It might seem high. And understand that, but also you got to recognize that I think that we will beat Santos Laguna. I think we will beat them. Sure. I think we'll handle them, and I think we'll go to the next round. The Portland Timbers play Club America. I think they'll drop down. There's opportunity as long as we win in regulation and handle our business against the worst Liga MX team. We'll go through. Now you're in the quarterfinals. You get to play at home, and hopefully we get ourselves in a position where we don't have to play a really high-seeded team. But regardless, I think the Galaxy having the advantage of being at home. Once you're already in the quarterfinals, in my opinion, I think it's realistic to say that there's a 10% chance that we win Leagues Cup. I don't think it's that crazy to say.
You say 10%?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Like as in Ricky Boyd 10?
Yes.
I mean, that's not far off what I said at 6-7. So I mean, I think we're on the same ballpark.
Yeah. Do you know what I hate? This is complete side rant. I do not like our intro video this year. And it's not the last intro video. The last intro video is fine. Although I don't like the fact that they wear black shorts in it. I think that's really weird because we don't wear black shorts generally. So that was kind of off. I don't know who made that decision or if it was even in their hands. Tab has dropped out. I'm sure he's getting that sorted. I don't like the fact that we are wearing black shorts, but the first video that plays with like 10 minutes left is terrible. The one where it's like a countdown. I don't know, memes, if you've seen that video yet.
I have not.
Okay, so
I thought you
basically
were talking about our intro.
our intro, never. That's disrespectful. No, I'm talking about the Galaxy's intro. It's like with 10 seconds or 10 minutes left before kickoff, they'll play this video where it's like it's a countdown from 10, and it's like
Okay.
they'll go through. They'll be like, I don't know, 6 stars on the badge, whatever. It reaches a point where they're really dragging it so hard that they say in their countdown they're going like 6, 5, right? They say 5 senses, and it's Zonka on the cover of that video. I'm like, what? Really? Like that's all y'all could come up with? I mean, I feel like there's a lot more things that relate to our club in the number 5 than Zonka. Not my business. I don't like the video. Every time I see it, I cringe. I think that's a major miss, and we always do really good in those videos, in my opinion.
Yeah, the one last season was pretty good. I haven't been to the stadium since the home opener, to be honest with you. So I think I missed it.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But side rant, I do not like that.
Yeah, I feel like the quality of like the content the team is putting out this year is really bad. Like from the graphic designs to like, I mean the collabs have been alright, but I mean the goal videos too have been kind of whack, and then yeah, it's just I don't enjoy them.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. I think that this has been one of the weakest years that I've seen from the Galaxy from a overall, not even on the field, on and off the field.
Yeah,
Terrible. I mean, they unfollowed Eli Lesser. Like, what's their issue, man?
The only positive thing about this team right now is like the youth academy. To be honest, that's like the only highlight.
And that's a huge positive.
Yeah.
But that's not something that's going to immediately impact our team right now. Score predictions against a not so good Liga MX team. We will go over that. Our score predictions for that match. Who will win Leagues Cup if we don't? Who do you think is in the driver's seat right now, memes?
I want to. I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe probably America. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Club America are on 3 points, man. I don't even think they're going through.
Oh man, never mind.
Can
you read me the top 4?
Right now. Right now, Toluca is first on 8 points.
Okay.
Pachuca is second on 7 points. They might end up dropping. Tigres is third on 6 points, but they have 1 less game. And then Puebla is fourth on 6 points, but they played their 3rd game, so they're probably out. So probably Toluca and Pachuca and maybe Tigres are the safe ones there.
Yeah. Toluca, they're a good team. I'll probably go with them. I was really impressed with them in the finals, Liga MX finals. They did a really good job, and they do have a really good team. Their midfield is super good, and they have a really good attack. I think their weak point, though, is their defense, if I'm not wrong. I've seen people comment on that, saying that they have like a weak defense.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why I'm saying that Tigres. If they're going to lose to LAFC, then I don't think Tigres is going through. They're playing a rotated LAFC team, and they're losing a must-win match, which is ridiculous. I'm gonna go with Toluca as well. So yeah. Anyway, on to the next thing here. Lake Elsinore Storm are down 6-1 in the 6th inning to the Dodgers single A team. Think the Storm can come back? No. Very random question there. Might be the most random question we've ever got. If we make the finals, is there a chance Ricky could play the game? Yes, Ricky Puig is on the League's Cup roster. Would he start? Probably not. I mean, the League's Cup final takes place before the end of August. We do have some Ricky Puig news for you guys, as we try to fit in every podcast. But what do you think, Memes?
Do I think he will come back, or sorry, what was the question?
Do you think there's what do you think the chance is that he plays like a League's Cup final potentially?
I think there's a high chance, to be honest. Do I think he'll start? No, but I think the chance of him playing in that game is not far from being unrealistic, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do about my camera being unfocused there. Might just have to deal with that until my internet comes back in.
Try wiping it.
Try what?
Wiping it and just like fixing it.
I mean, if I could fix it, I could. I mean, yeah, I don't. It might just have to be what it is for now. Let's see. Why are people saying for Eli? In my opinion, I think Eli. And if we make once again, I do think Ricky will play in some capacity, but free Eli. I mean, maybe that's a little over dramatic, but it does kind of suck that the Galaxy are not like. He's huge within MLS community, not even Galaxy, but he reps us. You know, he reps us. He's a huge face of Major League Soccer, at least social media wise. So I think Eli being unfollowed was disappointing. But yeah, onwards. Next thing that we have here, we will that is the end of the question segment here. We'll go on to some Ricky Puig news here. Ricky Puig, he's back. He's back in moving with the ball. We got video. On Ricky Puig's Instagram story of him moving with the ball. He was making very agile turns, which I think is something that's going to affect him most in his recovery from an ACL tear. Is the fact that his turns, he's a very agile player. The way that he's able to, move with the ball and be so silky with it is majorly impacted. And seeing him back on the ball, I think it's great. But he is still practicing individually. The Galaxy will be looking to ramp him up as it goes into full team practicing. Right now, he's just doing a lot of these things on his own. They don't want to risk him coming back before, it is it's too soon. It's too soon to think about Ricky coming back. But it's news. It's Ricky Puig news. We got footage of him back on the ball. So yeah, I mean, thoughts on this?
I mean, it's a great sign to see, a player after they tear an ACL injury to have, movement regarding like sharp turns, because it's very game-like scenarios, and it's a good sign that he looks good while he's doing it. He looks like no pain, like he looks comfortable. So it's a good step in the right direction for him to get playing time soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's instrumental, really, to everything that the Galaxy do and want to do going forward. So to get him back as soon as possible, I've seen the take, honestly, a lot now. A lot of people are saying that Ricky Puig needs to sit out the rest of the season. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a bad take. I just don't agree with it personally, because I think that I see the logic. The logic is you don't want to risk him getting injured in a season that means nothing. I understand that. But I'm also saying that I think it's very meaningful, actually, to have him play minutes and be ready. So in 2026, he can hit the ground running and not have to test things out, because there is going to be, a testing period for Ricky to make sure that he's good to go. And he really has to relearn the game. He could practice individually. He could do as good as he wants in team training. But ultimately, if he's not doing it in a match, then it's not really going to matter. It's not really going to matter, but it's going to take time. If you expect Ricky Pooch to come back and be the same old Ricky the first game, I would not bet on it. I think it takes time for him to get back in the flow of things. That's why you utilize the rest of this season, then transition into 2026 with him having some meaningful minutes under his belt, even if it's in like a 3-1 loss to FC Dallas. I would not expect him to be on turf, like Seattle games. I think are out of the question. I think we play Seattle away. We'd be ridiculous to play him in that match. But there is some meaning to him playing. Do you agree with that, or are you kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum there, Memes?
No, I 100% agree that there's some meaning to him getting minutes. What the heck? I'm all alone.
Nope. I fixed my camera, I believe.
All right, back to what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some beneficial things that we get out of him getting minutes this year. For one, he's going to be, getting his stamina back. That's something that you need to play games in order to get. It's rare that you can just get that all in training. You need to have like game-like scenarios, to get your stamina back. I understand why people want to sit him out just because we have, the season's over basically. We have nothing to play for in league. But I think just to get him around the ball, around the team, get him, situated with like some players that are new to the team, I think it's crucial for the next season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with everything that you said. I think that will be very crucial to the Galaxy's future, honestly, if you want to be a competitive team in 2026. However competitive you want to be will absolutely depend on Ricky Puig's fitness. Coachella isn't going to be enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to be enough. Tabers will be joining us back shortly. I'm sure he's just getting settled back into his house after coming back from soccer. Anyway, let's start talking about the Cruz Azul match. The Galaxy fall 7-8 on penalties to Cruz Azul. It was a 1-1 game in regulation. Obviously, these games after 90 minutes automatically go to penalty kicks. And man, what a disappointment. Let's start bottom to top here. In terms of progression in this match, it was a real letdown, if I'm being completely honest with you. But they got on the score sheet first. I want to talk about this lineup though. The Club Tijuana match, in my opinion, was what the Galaxy's strongest lineup is, barring Zonka starting. I think Yoshida starts if Zonka, or I think if Yoshida's healthy, he starts that match. Obviously, coming off of the LAFC game. That was their strongest lineup. This was not. Novak Mitrovic was in net. Julian Ade left back. Zonka and Garza center back. Yoshida was back on the bench. He ended up making a substitute appearance before getting a yellow. But you had Yamane right back, which I think was the first misstep, at least going bottom to top in this, is Miki Yamane should not be starting this game. He's out of form. And Mauricio Cuevas is in form. He got the assist. On the Gabriel Pet goal that we will go over here. First misstep, in my opinion. Tabers, welcome back, buddy.
No, jump scare.
Yeah, Tabers jump scare.
All right.
Anyway, Edwin Cerrillo in the midfield. You had Marco Royce as well, alongside Lucas Sanabria.
Whoa.
We'll be going over his performance very shortly here. He's not free yet. Diego Fagundes in the midfield. And up front, Joseph Paintsil, Gabriel Peck, and Royce playing the false 9. Royce went 90 minutes, but he was injured, which is why I think you could give him a little grace on the chance that he ended up missing at the very end of the game. Anyway, 22nd minute, Cruz Azul scores. They make it 1-0. And quite honestly, this first half was a disaster. It was a disaster from the Galaxy, and it could have been more than 1-0. We were very fortunate to walk away from this game at halftime and it being 1-0 because they were creating chance after chance. Now I'm gonna tell you that this lineup, I'm a huge Greg Vanney defender. I'm I'm on the front lines. And anytime anybody says sack Vanney, this game makes it very hard to defend him. He missed. He took a gamble on the lineup and he missed. Lucas Sanabria completely lost control of the midfield, and that's why they're creating chance after chance. I literally saw a time where they were building out of the back, and it took 3 passes to play them completely in a position to get a really good shot off, a clear shot off on the LA Galaxy. Lucas Sanabria cannot cover the ground that Mark Delgado can, and he's not supposed to be that guy that can, oh wait, I just realized Memes is here. Okay, no, I want you to answer for your sins here, Memes. What's up with Lucas Sanabria, man? Memes?
Well, first off, I mean, to be honest, he's just really out of form. I think he's probably been one of the worst signings in recent years for the Galaxy. He just hasn't proven himself, and I mean, he just hasn't proven himself. To be honest with you, I don't understand why Vanney keeps trying to force him down our throats. He's been pretty bad, and I don't get it. Like he's out of form. I don't understand why he keeps starting games and why he keeps going for these long periods of time in the game and not getting subbed at half.
No, that's not Memes right there. I'm sorry, that is not Galaxy Memes. He's off the stage. That is none of what I heard from him. That is okay. Good take, but you're on fraud watch, mate. You are absolutely on fraud watch. That is not the Memes that I know and love. What? Yeah, Lucas Sanabria, man, he's terrible. He's terrible, but I'm at a point, honestly, I don't know if you guys have reached this, where I don't have much hope that the signing's going to turn around. I don't have much hope, and we've talked about it in previous podcasts. I don't entirely think it's the guy's fault. I think that we signed a number 6 to play number 8, and he's a 6, but he's not good enough to start over Edwin Cerrillo. Cerrillo's a pendant starter. He might be one of the first names on the team sheet, if not the first for the LA Galaxy. You're not taking that spot from Edwin Cerrillo. I'm sorry. Lucas Sanabria trying to play the 8, it's not working. He's never played the 8. He got his $5 million transfer fee from playing the number 6. We spent so much money on him. But where's the scouting? Because I don't think it takes a professional and somebody who devotes their entire lives to this to see that Lucas Sanabria is a 6. He was a 6. I mean, he wasn't a 6'7", but he was a 6. And I really just start to doubt our scouting right now. I feel like ever since Mikey Steffens left, it's been lackluster. And I think this transfer window is probably the worst in Galaxy history. But Galaxy runs LA. Lucas Sanabria, do you still believe in him?
I think he's still got potential. I think, it's tough going into a team where it's his first time out of the country playing for just a club team. He's been in Uruguay for his whole life pretty much, and then he's coming to the U.S. So there's a lot of changes. We've seen players like Dejan Jovic struggle. U22 initiative slots, they're work in progress. They're like you take a gamble with them almost, and we took a gamble. Sanabria, obviously, you have a good point with him being a 6 naturally, which I don't know why we didn't look at someone else who's actually an 8, but
yeah.
I think he's still got potential. I think it's definitely a learning curve, and it's a good season to be learning because the season's like already gone. So I think if he's not good by next season, I think he should be gone.
Yeah, Memes, do you still have faith in this guy?
I mean, I have some faith just because it's his first season. I don't really like to write people off their first season. There's a lot of kind of some factors that I took into account of why, like, I still give this guy some grace. For one, this is his second professional season. He only played one season professionally with Nacional, and he's, leaving at a young age to the United States where he doesn't, speak the native language here. And the midfield's kind of all over the place. And for number two, our team is bad. Like there has been like no positive points in our team where we can write players off. To be honest with you, but what's it called? Damn, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish off with that. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. I feel like he leaves Edwin Cerrillo stranded so much. I feel like Cerrillo, even with Diego Fagundes with a Fagundes, Cerrillo, and Marco Royce midfield, that works. That's worked. Even though obviously Fagundes is more of an attacking type of guy, it allows Cerrillo to play, I think, his freest role. I don't think Cerrillo, even in particular, had a great match. But Lucas Sanabria, I'm really starting to be done with this guy. I think we'll see by the end of the season, but if he's still not really showing flashes, I think his pressing's all right. If I'm going to give him anything, I think his pressing's all right. But counterpoint to that, I think his pressing is as good as it is because he's running like a chicken with his head cut off. The guy has no positional awareness. He's all over the field, and Greg Vanney was screaming at him all 45 minutes. That's why he got taken off at halftime. He was poor. He was really, really bad. And Greg Vanney sees it. The LAFC game, he got taken off at halftime as well. He's had 2 huge chances to show up for the Galaxy, and he squandered both of them. It might be his, hopefully, cross your fingers, might be his last start for a minute until he really proves that he can compete at an MLS level and the physicality that it takes to be a competent player in this league. Peck scores. Back to the Cruz Azul game. Peck scores, 81st minute. You want to break this goal down? Galaxy runs LA.
Yeah, comes from a great cross from Mauricio Cuevas. It comes out to him on the right wing. He's playing right wing back at the time. Crosses into Peck, which it's a great ball. Greg Vanney was saying that no player on this team can hit that ball except Cuevas. And he sends that in, whips it behind the Cruz Azul defense, and Peck's going to tap it in.
Yeah, Mauricio Cuevas, man, he's so good. Once he came into the match too. Talk about Miki Amane. I mean, I think Cuevas maybe could work on the defensive side of his game a bit. He's still really young, but his crossing ability is beyond what I've seen since Julian Araujo. But memes, Pet goal, your interpretation and analysis.
I mean, it was a great cross from Cuevas. I mean, I think that just proves that he should have been starting from the get-go. He's in the form of his life, I want to say, too. And, I don't know why. I think the reason why we probably started Yamane was probably, for a rotation, just because Vanney saw that, Cruz Azul got blown out 7-0. He probably thought this game was going to be a walk in the park. And, we caught off guard, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm really okay. By the way, hold on. I'm my train of thoughts completely thrown off because of this comment. This is a horrid take. I'm sorry. You're usually on point with some of the stuff that you say. This is not it. This is not it. Sanabria is not a better 6 than Edwin. Edwin Cerrillo has been one of the bright spots on this horrible Galaxy team, in my opinion. Wasn't amazing in this game, but that's a bad one. I'm sorry. That was really bad. Anyway, penalties. We go to penalties. Marco Royce had a chance. Marco Royce had a chance.
You had quite the reaction to that. You posted on your story, right? Or no, that was an actual post.
No, it was on my story.
That was a story. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you had quite the reaction. I think every fan in the stadium had the same reaction. I was in Hawaii. I was down on the beach watching the game. Like, okay, surely we score here. Yeah, I got back yesterday, or actually this morning. But anyways, I was watching on the beach. I'm like, okay, it's a breakaway, but it's Marco Royce. He's quite the slow guy, so I don't think he's taking all the way. If he's going, he takes all the way, and he messes up his Cruyff turn and goes straight into keeper's hands. I'm like, oh god, like I almost threw my phone in the ocean. It was that bad.
Memes.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what he was doing there. I was like, dude, what is this guy doing, man? There's no way to justify what he did. I had no idea what he was trying to do whatsoever. But I mean, yeah, I had a pretty similar reaction to you, Peyton.
Yeah. Tab, did you go to Hawaii?
Nah,
Really?
Did you go to Maui or Oahu?
I was in Maui, yeah.
Oh, this guy went to Hawaii. Wait. Did you go to Hawaii? I
Let me
just want
think.
to
Let me
make sure.
think.
I just want to make sure. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I went.
Ah, you went to Hawaii. Wow, that's great. Jealous. Anyway, yeah. I mean, Marco Royce. I'll give him grace because he was injured. He probably won't play. And don't be surprised. We don't have an official injury status on him yet, but I don't imagine he's going to play on Thursday. He would have came out of the game, according to Greg Vanney, had we had another substitution window. We didn't. So we had to keep him on the field with penalties. And it just, it is what it is. It is what it is. But let's break down the shootout. Marco Royce gets us off to a good start. In fact, every Galaxy player made their penalty. Until I made the comment that every Galaxy player has made a penalty. I was in the stadium. Edwin Soria steps up, and I'm like, wow, every player's made a penalty in this match. He misses. Mr. Aura, whatever you want to call him. I know everyone thirsts over Edwin Soria. Whatever thirst traps you want to make. I thought he was going to be cold. I bought into it. I bought into the thirst traps because I was like, oh.
Okay. Good for you. That's great.
I bought into it because I was like, oh, this guy's cold with it. He's the GOAT, man. I was like, he's gonna step up and bury this. It gets saved. It wasn't a good pen. It wasn't a good pen.
I had the opposite reaction. When I saw Syrup step, I'm like, there's a reason this guy's so far deep in the line that he's gotta be god off at penalties but that was 6 or 7 shots in, I think. And I mean, if you're that far in and you're one of the key players, I think you're either really bad or you got some good players in front of you. And John Nelson took one before him, so I think that leads to my first option being correct. And what do we know? Yeah, I was right. And then Mr. Garcia steps up and hits it with no conviction, telegraphs a shot, and it goes right to the same spot Surreal did, and right at the perfect height for the keeper to save it. It's just unfortunate.
Oh, I'm fuming. You got me mad all over again, mate. You know why I'm so mad at that is because we had a chance. The gates of heaven opened up. I don't care if you're religious or not. The gates of heaven opened up on Dignity Health Sports Park when the Cruz Azul player, after Surreal missed, hits the crossbar. You're like, oh my gosh, it's the second coming. We have another chance. We have another chance at this game. Amiro Garcia steps up. Why is Maya Yoshida not taking a pen? That's the captain. That's the guy. I don't care. He has experience. The guy's 100 years old. You have wisdom. You have ball. Like you know what you're doing. Take the pen, man. What was he? At that point, was Novak Mitrovic going to go before him? Because that was atrocious. Like I wanted Yoshida to take a pen before Garces, because when Garces stepped up, I got a little shaky. I got a little nervous.
If you think like center backs of penalties, like you think of like Rudiger or something who just goes straight power and usually that works. But like,
yeah,
you think like Garces do the same thing, but no, he had his purse on. He whacked it with his purse.
I was like, this guy's gonna Van Dijk the penalty, just no kind of games. We do have a question. I wanted to wait for the shootout to talk about this because we also have a quote with it. Find that actually. It was something about, are we worried about Novak Mitrovic and penalties? Because they went down the middle about 4 times in a row. He just sent the same penalty. And I mean, it looked like he was guessing. It looked like he didn't really do his homework. I don't usually, as a goalkeeper, when it comes to penalties, you don't usually blame the goalkeeper. But when it's that many in a row, you know what I mean? But Tab, what do you think?
Yeah, obviously, I think Vanny's right for keeping Mikovic in because he's given him no reason not to trust him. In the press conference after the game, he said that both McCarthy and Mikovic, yeah, there's a comment, but also in the press conference, he also said that they both have been doing good in penalties, and he said Mikovic has given me no reason to not trust him. But now he's given him a reason not to trust him. So I think if we do go to penalties against Santos Laguna, I think maybe see John McCarthy step in because obviously he won the MLS Cup for our noisy neighbors up north. So I think that's something to keep an eye out for. But personally, I think you throw in John McCarthy just for the penalty kick shootout if we get one this Thursday.
Low key though, if we get into a penalty shootout situation, I don't even care. We're out. We're out if we go to penalties against Santos Laguna. Now, if it's like the quarterfinals or semifinals and one of those games goes to penalties, then yeah, I think we would be very, very wise to put John McCarthy in. But a lot of people kind of talk about the fact they're like, why would John McCarthy not like it's common sense, right? No, Novak had a great game in League's Cup against Chivas last year. Like you talked about, he didn't have a reason not to trust him. People can talk in hindsight and be like, oh, obviously McCarthy's like the penalty specialist. Novak, the reason why everybody was calling on him to start the Seattle game before he made an issue of it was because of that penalty shootout. He was the hero in that game, you know? I mean, Novak Mitrovic, I don't hate the decision by Greg Vanney to keep him in. In fact, I would have probably been we could have ended in the same situation if John McCarthy would have ended up, saving if John McCarthy would have came in and they would have made all their penalties as well. This is, not maybe he would have saved penalties, but if we would have lost the shootout with McCarthy in it, people would have been like, why did we sub out McCarthy? You know what I mean? Like people would be, or why would we sub out Mitrovic for McCarthy? You could play that hindsight game all day, but I don't love it. I don't love it right now. So I think I'm fine with keeping Novak Mitrovic in, but I don't know. Maybe I just think you can't use hindsight and be like, oh, obviously, why would they ever let Novak in? He's had pedigree there. But would I start McCarthy going forward? Yeah. Would you guys?
Yep.
All right. I mean, on to the next thing then. I mean, I think that match in general, I don't know if you guys had any more comments on it, but I did want to bring up the fact that Joseph Paintsil is getting hammered, man. Like somebody talked about the refereeing in this game is poor. I don't like to be one of those people after the game who are like, oh, that ref, man, because you could do that for any football match. You could take a couple calls and be like, oh, that ref was atrocious. That ref sucked. I don't like to be that guy. This was really bad. In fact, it feels targeted. It felt like he had an agenda against Joseph Paintsil, honestly, because every single time that you look at, I mean, I see the idea that, yeah, maybe Paintsil like dropped his foot back a little bit on the Cruz Azul player, but he got chopped. He got chopped down. This man was getting chopped down all game. This guy was getting chopped down all game. He was getting no calls, and he gets a yellow. I mean, I'll give him a reason. Like, shoot, I'm not inciting violence, but give him a reason to give you a yellow. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna get a yellow, get a yellow. But it's like this was really poor refereeing all around. I want your takes on the penalty kick because I've seen a lot of differing opinions on if that final play should have been a penalty kick. And hey, if there's that much debate about it, maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm more okay with the call on the field standing. But what do you guys think about the Joseph Paintsil, no penalty decision?
Yeah, obviously from the video, it looks pretty obvious that there was a touch on his back foot. The commentators didn't specify if the VAR told him to look at it, but obviously he didn't because he blew the whistle straight after. I don't know if this was 5 minutes earlier, if he would look at the VAR. It's just unfortunate because that would have been it. that would have gave us the 3 points, and we've been in a way better position. But I guess we'll never know because the referee never checked VAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it looked like a pen. That's all I gotta say.
Memes. Did you see that?
It looked like a pen to me too.
Yeah. I mean, pretty unanimous here. I think it absolutely has to be a penalty. A lot of people. I think the biggest point that people can make is that maybe he was outside of the box. Maybe he was outside of the box, but apparently, I think the main point of contact was on the line, which is, I believe, a penalty if there's a foul on the line. Because the main point of contact was him stomping on Joseph Painsel's foot after going in for the ball, in my opinion. But he was like ripping his shirt before and getting his hands all over his face. So Joseph Painsil being hacked down in that game, refereeing was so suspicious. I don't know. That just felt really off to me, that whole game. But yesterday, on some happier news, yesterday was Ricky Puig's 3-year anniversary of becoming an LA Galaxy player on a free transfer from FC Barcelona. I can't believe time flies. It's been almost 1,000 days. Wait, over 1,000 days. It's been over 1,000 days. I know. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. I mean, time flies. I remember being at the match this match after, as you see in this picture, they announced him at halftime. I believe he was there, met up with Chicharito after the game. But yeah, I mean, what's your favorite Ricky Puig memory?
I think obviously there's the 20th CL, what's it called? Assist.
Yeah,
that's gotta be up there just because the meaning behind it, the moment. But let me try and think niche. I really liked. I think it was against the Philadelphia Union. I think that was one of my favorite goals they scored. It was at home, I believe, and it was an absolute rocket into the top corner. It was 2023 season, I believe.
Yeah, it was. I was at that game. That was a crazy, crazy match. I actually have a really good video of that goal somewhere in my camera roll. But Meme's favorite Ricky Puig memory?
It's gonna have to be the first Rose Bowl, 4th of July game.
Yeah.
I like the whole scenario, the whole Kellini thing. The last minute goal. I mean, it was just like the cherry on top. That was like I was so hyped when he scored that. I was running around my house.
I will also have to agree with you now that you brought that back into my mind because he winked at me. I was at field side.
No, he didn't.
Oh yeah. Oh please.
First Rio, not Ricky. You probably subscribe to Ricky's subscriptions on Instagram or something. Is
Ricky?
What they call it?
People buy like Instagram subscriptions to like those people who. There was an Instagram subscription that was like, really? People like subscribe to this guy? Like,
I think his name starts with a T, and he got banned recently. That guy,
the Galaxy Diddler.
Sean doesn't have it now.
Pack watch. Yeah, I don't know if that was the person that was. Any info on his hairstylist? Joseph Painsil, probably. I mean, no, it's Diego Fagundes, I believe, did his hair when it was blonde at least once. But they go to that like Manny LaBarber guy. I don't know if everybody goes to him.
Oh, dude, that's my friend's dad.
What?
Yeah, he goes to my school.
Yo, just drop random lore, bro. Okay. Interesting actually. I would have never guessed that he had a connection to Manny LaBarber. But weirder things have happened, I guess. Gabriel Peck news, everybody. Gabriel Peck. Tab, I know you posted this first on your Instagram, so I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I had an early morning said my job. I should probably blur myself saying that. But,
Whoa, buddy.
Yeah,
Calm down.
That's not me. But yeah, so it was pretty early on. It was reported by some Brazilian journalists that Gabriel Peck has turned down Cruzeiro for returning to Brazil. Peck wants to go to Europe, and I think he's made it clear now that he does not want to go back to Brazil. He's turned down this team. He's turned down Palmeiras. He's turned down, what's the final team? There's 3. Do you know off the top of your head?
I could probably associate it to a name. Let me look at the Brazilian league. Yeah, I mean, point being, he just doesn't want to go back, and I
Yeah,
don't blame him.
he wants to go Europe. There's that rumor of him going to Real Oviedo, but that's just not anything true. There's no source behind that. It's really posted by a guy that said Matt Turner's coming to Galaxy, and he's obviously at New England.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Was it Flamengo?
don't think it's Flamengo.
Really?
I feel like it's a green badge. If
Fluminense?
I think it's Fluminense, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, could be.
possibly.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, Gabriel Peck does not want to go back to Brazil. I tell you, no disrespect to that league. Corinthians, yeah, that was the name. The guy does not want to go back. Duh. He came from Brazil. That would be such a lateral move when he has European potential. I mean, he was close to going to Europe in the winter transfer window, I believe. So, I think it would be very illogical for him to go back, and it's just his personal ambition that he wants to become a European star one day and compete at the highest level. So this doesn't make sense to me. And Brazil, block this guy's number. He don't want you. Like, I'm sorry, but memes. What's going on there, man? Are we doing like a lottery roulette? What's going on?
I think I should land on Peyton. Peyton's the jackpot. We land on Peyton.
Wow. Yeah, that might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Memes. Gabriel Peck back to Brazil. Not happening, but what's your thoughts on this?
I hope his wife stays.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Memes. Oh, okay, bro. All right. That's great. That's great. He's just gonna say that and then not speak. I refuse to speak. I refuse to speak. That's fine. Talking Galaxy after dark, everybody. Perfect. I mean, we got to get this guy off the podcast, bro. Like, what's going on, man? Like, a very lovely lady, by the way. I had some Instagram interactions with her trying to get a DZ Films shirt, and thought that somehow, some way, I was able to have that happen.
Yeah, definitely been talking to her about that. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that BZ Film shirt was so cold though. Gabriel Peck, jeez, I love that. Anyway, I don't know if you guys saw. I want to get that if it ever comes out. Hopefully it does. Previews here. Oh shoot, hour 20 minutes in and we haven't done a preview. It's so over, man. Oh, okay. Let's go through this here. We will talk about a doubleheader that will be going on. Galaxy runs LA. I know you posted this as well on your Instagram. Cruz Azul, the team that we lost to, if you want to hate watch them, that match will be kicking off at 3:30, I believe. Yeah. Okay, and then the Galaxy will play Santos Laguna at 8:15, which means it's an 8:25 kickoff. And if you do a little rounding up from 13.9K to 15K, then this match will start at 8:30, basically.
5:30 kickoff for Cruz Azul games.
Yeah. So do a bit of rounding up, and this game starts at 8:30. So the field is not going to be in great condition for the Galaxy here, but thoughts, initial thoughts, and I guess I'll go through a predicted lineup here. I think Novak Mitrovic gets the nod in net. Ade left back, Garces, and Yoshida. I think Yoshida gets back in the team sheet. Cuevas, Sanabria is done, man. Fagundes, Cerrillo, Parente. I think this might be an IGP type of match. And then I think you get Nascimento, Paintsil, and Peck. I think Marco Royce will be out. But you guys agree with that predicted lineup? Have anything different?
I agree with that lineup.
Yeah, I think from what it sounds like, from what Vayner's saying, I think Marco Reus should be good. Obviously, we'll have to see come game day, but
Did he
I
did he
think
say that he's good?
well, he mentioned that after he came off, he obviously made that sprint for that last play, and he was fine, and he obviously made the
Yeah.
sprint. So I'm assuming he's good. And Vayner said that he knows nothing about injury, so hopefully that stays true. Because if he is out, I agree with your lineup. But if he isn't, I think that Royce goes in, and I think we see a midfield of Royce, Fagundes, and Saru.
Yeah, that would be ideal. But I don't know. Maybe that's the case. I did see him make that run. That's a positive sign. But they almost pulled out the stretcher for the guy. I mean, I would be. I mean, jeez. At his age, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if he ends. At least he might be on the bench, but I don't. Maybe you're right. Santos Laguna, very important point. Not so great counterpoint to that. We'll not be reading that, but Santos Laguna are out. They're done. They're done with this tournament, which means that they're likely going to rotate. They play Chivas 3 days later in Liga MX. What incentive do they have to spoil the LA Galaxy? That being said, what logic do people have when they face the LA Galaxy? They're probably going to go balls to the wall in this match and probably beat us because we're the LA Galaxy and we do those type of things. You know what I mean? But logical sense, the Galaxy will be playing a B squad. We are playing a team that's won one of their last 15, I believe. We should be able to win this match comfortably. Comfortably is the key word because goal differential matters. But yeah, any thoughts on that?
They just like us for real. They got one win in 15 games. Sounds something a little familiar to us. But yeah, obviously Santos Laguna is not the best team ever. We're gonna be at home. Santos Laguna doesn't have a big traveling crowd, so it shouldn't be like Cruz Azul where our stadium's gonna be packed. It is a doubleheader, so an interesting factor could be there could be still more Cruz Azul fans than Galaxy fans because Cruz Azul will fill up the stadium just for them, and the tickets sold are for both games. So I'm pretty sure gates open at 3:30. So you get the ticket and it goes for both matches. So if you want, like Payne said, you can hate watch Cruz Azul for being us. You can watch Colorado Rapids in our stadium, and then our game starts at around probably 8:30 ish. And yeah, thinking of that, I mean, Cruz Azul could have more fans in the stadium for a game that's not even them playing, and which could be interesting. Obviously, we've seen this stuff can happen during the Gold Cup where Mexico, Canada, and I think it was Panama played, and for the USA games it was empty because all the Mexican fans bought the tickets and it was packed at SoFi for them. So I guess something to keep an eye out for. I don't know what the support groups are doing. I don't know if they're coming back. Obviously, Galaxians is there, Riot Squad is there. I'm not sure about the other two, so definitely
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that. I'm sure they had a meeting today. Was it today about that? I'm guessing. So it'll be just interesting to see what comes out of that
Sunday.
meeting. Was it Sunday?
I think on Sunday, after the match against the Seattle Sounders, they will discuss what they're going to do going forward.
Okay.
But I don't know. It depends. If we make the quarterfinals, that can completely change everything. But if we don't, then it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'd love to see them come back anyway. If the terms are right. I think there's a lot of people placing false blame that I've seen on social media, placing false blame on supporters groups when I think that if you understand their reasons, they have a lot of rights to be upset. But yeah, I just Cruz Azul is officially eliminated now. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how that match plays out. They will kick all the Cruz Azul fans out of ACB before we come in, obviously. I believe that you can't be wearing any opposing teams' kits in the supporter section, so that just won't be happening. Anyway, memes.
Ew.
So what's that comment about, buddy? What's that comment about Issa Lipa on Instagram?
Do I even have to explain?
Okay. Okay. All right. Thoughts on the doubleheader then? What do the Galaxy need to do to win this match?
They just, play like how they did against Iguana. Going to play composed. It is going to be tough, without Royce, I think, because he's been a little bit in form. I'm not assuming he's going to play this game. But, I think they just got to play like how they did against Tijuana. I think the quote that Mikovic put out, I think it's true. And Santos is probably one of the worst teams in Liga MX in the last couple of years. So, I mean, I think we have what it takes to beat them, and I think we need to get a clean sheet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That being said, score predictions then for this match. Go ahead. We'll start with you, Tab.
I'll say 2-0.
Okay. Will that get us to the next round, in your opinion?
Should. I mean, we'll have to see. Obviously, like I said earlier, we'll know beforehand what we need to do.
Yeah.
It's looking like just win and we'll be good, but not confirmed yet. So I'm sure me and Payne will keep you guys posted on that, and we'll probably be putting out something Thursday morning or something like that, or Thursday afternoon before our game starts.
Yes, sir. If you are paying attention, none of the other games matter besides Columbus winning, which means that all we have to do is win. That's fine. They didn't win by multiple goals. Another game to pay attention to is the Miami Pumas game. If you're hate watching, you want Pumas to win. Minnesota versus San Luis, you really, really, really want. We need that Minnesota spot right now by goal differential. You want Minnesota to drop that game or lose in penalties or something along those lines, where all we have to do is win and we'll take over that spot. And then Club America versus Portland, which will be playing, that'll be played in Austin. So Portland don't even get home advantage there. You have to root for Club America. You have to root for Liga MX teams in this tournament. Seattle, Tijuana, I don't think it's going to matter. I'm sorry. The chances we get first seed are almost zero. I think Seattle's beating an already eliminated Tijuana side. So, we'll know what we need to do before the match, which is the benefit of playing the final game. Is the fact that a team like Columbus right now is into the next round, but they will not be because they're going to be out. They're going to be out by the time everybody's going to end up surpassing them because they played the first match. But question for you. We'll go into Memes prediction, and then we have a question for Tab after mine. Go ahead, Memes.
I'm going to go with a 3-0 win.
Okay. As for myself, I'm going to go for. I've been predicting pretty high score lines. I'm going to say 4-1. I'm going to say 4-1 for the LA Galaxy. Goals, I think Nascimento will have one. I think Peck will have one. Paintsel will have one. And we're going to have 4 unique goal scorers, and the final goal will be Diego Fagundes. So that is my prediction for the match. We got 10-0 Galaxy. Perfect. Throw your score predictions in there in the mixer. But we'll see how that one goes. Tab, question for you. What game is Ricky back? Put a game on it.
Let's see. So obviously Ricky's been doing that training on the ball. I think the next step is doing contact stuff like scrimmages, stuff like that. Training drills where you go into the tackles with your teammates. Hopefully no one cracks him too hard and he gets injured again. But
What?
Okay.
What are you talking about, man?
Not crack him like that, bro. But like put a challenge in, get stuck in. Hopefully no one gets stuck into Ricky. That's better.
Wait,
Anyway,
hold on. Back pocket. You're off. Both of you, actually.
But so you still got to do contact kind of drills and stuff like that. So you definitely have to do at least a week or 2 of that, and then he could get featured. So looking at the calendar right now, what I'm thinking is maybe at the earliest August 30th against Dallas at home. That could be one. Best case scenario, maybe Colorado the week before on the 23rd of August. But I just think it's gonna be around that time frame. But I think definitely by September 20th for that home game against Cincinnati, I think we'll definitely be seeing Ricky.
I agree with the chat here. I think it will be Ricky back versus Cincinnati. He's not back in full practice yet, so I'm a bit skeptical to say within a couple weeks he's going to elevate from no contact at all to starting. But I think it will have to be a home match. We play the Seattle Sounders on the road. You could rule that one out. Dynamo away, I don't see it happening. they need to bring him back for the home crowd. He needs to be in front of the home crowd when he comes back. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's ready to come back. You could sit out a few more games. You need to play a home match. And I think that will be the Cincinnati game he will come off the bench for, to prepare himself for a Campeones Cup final match where he, I think, needs to start in order for us to win. I think if he doesn't start, we're out. But, or we're not going to win that game. But yeah, that is memes. Give a game. I know this question was for Tab. Sorry, everyone's taking.
I'm gonna go with the Cincy game too. I've kind of been eyeing that game out. It just seems like the most logical.
Yep, I am on board with that. Seattle Sounders preview, everybody. The Galaxy will face off against the Seattle Sounders on August 10th, Sunday, 7 p.m. Kickoff will be at 7:10, I believe. This is Replica Ring Night 2005. It's the 20-year anniversary. Do not take my advice, and if my advice is wrong, then it's not on me. But if you want to guarantee yourself a chance of getting the ring, I would get there at 3. It might sound extreme, maybe 3:30 if you want to push it, but I think, by the way, Seattle Sounders are going to advance in this tournament. The Galaxy are in a position to advance. Boy, do I have a really fun lineup prediction for this match, because it's going to be a rotational game by both teams, I believe. But it's Replica Ring Night. A lot to look forward to. I'm sure they'll do a lot of stuff for this game. Key to winning the Seattle Sounders match, in my opinion, is just one of the backups is going to have a match. Give me a Lepley masterclass. But what do you think is key to winning the Seattle Sounders match?
I think we just gotta take our chances. Obviously, Seattle Sounders, they're always good. They're very compact defensively, and you can even say that their second string defense is probably better than our first string defense. They got some good players. A lot of players that can fill into spots and roles that maybe a starter would. Definitely going to be a challenging game, whether they rotate or they don't. So definitely a good game. I just put out a giveaway for tickets for that game if you want to enter into that. So if you don't have tickets ready, you can enter into that. But I think the key is just take our chances.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, playing against Seattle is always a tough one. I feel like the turf is a big upset kind of towards us, and I think the key to win this match is just finishing our chances as well. I think we've been kind of lacking that final dagger. That 1v1 against the keeper is kind of holding us back. Paintsel, he's missed more than a few lately when it's just him and the keeper. And then we obviously seen Royce miss the 1v1 as well. So if we just finish those type of chances, I feel like we should be all right.
Yeah, like I said, I think backups are going to start this game and perform exceptionally. Starting lineup wise, we'll go through this quickly. I think John McCarthy gets the nod in net. John Nelson left back, Zonka center back, paired alongside. I'm going to say Amiro Garces. I think Zonka and Garces. Cuevas right back. Midfield. No, I'll change that. Yamane right back. I think midfield will be Isaiah Parente, Tucker Lepley, and Diego Fagundes. No, I think Fagundes will be at wing, and another midfielder, Isaiah Parente. Shoot, they give Cerrillo every 90. They'll throw Cerrillo in anyway. It'll be Cerrillo, Lepley, and Parente. And then Fagundes out wide with Gabriel Peck and Christian Ramirez up top. I believe the Galaxy will run a completely rotated lineup. So surely you guys got to disagree with that in some way. Who do you see getting a nod in this game?
Novak.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we rotate, but I don't think we rotate that much. I think maybe you could throw in Isaiah Parente. Maybe John Nelson gets a start. Maybe Cuevas, I think, definitely should start. But I don't know if we drop our star players like Gabriel Peck and Paintsel, because the playoff hopes are still alive. But if we continue to lose, that's going to just lower our chances even more. So I think you'll see a strong lineup for now. But if we do lose this game, then I do think we'll see some rotations, see some players get more minutes. But think for now we're going to stick with a somewhat strong lineup.
This level of delusion is crazy here. I wish I could be this optimistic on the Galaxy right now. When you said playoff chances, I was just kind of like, oh man, I think I have a better chance of being struck by lightning right now than the Galaxy do of making the playoffs. But, you know, I mean, I think it's going to take divine intervention, but it's something. It's something, man. So we'll see. But if we lose this game, come on, we're done. We're done, man. But I think we will end up rotating because I think the club sees that playoffs aren't on the cards right now. So, yep, we got prediction time now. I think the Galaxy will lose 3-1 to the Seattle Sounders at home. Galaxy runs LA. Oh, and I think our only goal will be scored by, give me Joseph Paintsel off the bench.
I think we lose this game 1-0. I think Seattle's defense is just going to shut us down. But I think obviously we're going to see how this League's Cup pans out. See Thursday whether they make it through, because I mean they have a pretty strong chance of making it through, and whether we make it through, because if we make it through, I think our lineup could be what you were kind of saying earlier, Peyton, with a lot more rotation in it, and we'll be putting all our eggs into the League Cup basket. So I think we'll have to wait and see until Thursday to see what our lineup's gonna kind of be.
Yeah.
If it isn't rotated, I think it could be worse than 1-0, but I'm just gonna go 1-0 for now.
Okay. Memes?
I feel like this is going to be a 3-0 loss.
Okay. All right. All loss predictions. You have it from the Talkin Galaxy crew here. I think that match is going to be difficult. All focus is on Leagues Cup now. We will have a live watch along for the Miami game. Podcast regularly on Tuesday at 8. If you're here right now, please make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I think that's about everything we got. Let me do a final run through because all of my things got wiped out. But yeah, that's everything I have right now for the Galaxy. You guys good? All right. Memes, where can people find you?
You can find me LA Galaxy Memes on Instagram.
Galaxy Runs LA.
You can find me at Galaxy Runs LA on TikTok, Instagram, and X.
As for myself, I am LA Galaxy _Buzz. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Like and subscribe if you already haven't, and I will see you all Tuesday. Peace out.